welcome to Web of Stories. My name is Melinda and I'm here to talk about my kids' summer reading. So I am filming this on Wednesday, June 14th, which is the day before my kids' last day of school. So summer essentially starts for us tomorrow at 12:15. And I am a huge fan of summer reading. I grew up doing the summer reading program through our library. When I was a kid, there was no option for adults. Now, adults can do summer reading as well as kids. And since my children, literally since they were born, I've had them in summer reading. Now, all that being said, I don't want to say problems, but I'm concerned that the way libraries do summer reading is no longer effective. When I was a kid, summer reading was designed so that you would find some time to read among all the time you spent being outside and playing. Come in and read for a bit and then go outside and play. That was sort of the idea of summer reading. But now summer reading really is get off your screen and read and then go outside and play. And the actual design of summer reading programs has not changed since I was a kid, even though the world has changed quite a bit. If you can hear my kids upstairs, this is very ironic because they're upstairs playing video games right now. So, I mean, I don't know how libraries can fix this. I'm gonna say that's just an issue they're gonna have to figure out on their own and find some way to make it worth it for kids. I can, however, speak for my kids. So my kids, they are doing summer reading through the library this year. I was thinking, oh, they don't have to do it if they don't want to, but I do feel it's important that they do so that the library gets credit that they had people participating, which goes into helps when they need to get funding, blah, 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 all that. But the library summer reading program is not going to motivate them to read. So I had to find something else to do. My other problem is I have two very different readers. My daughter, who is 14, she's going to go into high school next year. She's a great reader. She reads way above her grade level. She reads at an adult level. She, if she will put her phone down and her tablet down or Chromebook down, she will read. It's just getting her to put those down and go back to reading. She loves it. My son is a reluctant reader. He doesn't like to read. He does love his video games. And so for him, I needed to figure out something that would really entice him to read. So I thought about this quite a bit. And two things popped into my mind. One was something that I used back when all of a sudden I had to be a homeschool teacher, thanks to COVID. And the other was sort of an age-old method of parenting that I think still is very, very effective, even though people look down on it, but I still think it's incredibly effective, and that's bribery. So I designed a summer reading program using a system that I got off Teachers Pay Teachers way back in like 2020. If that file is still available, I will link it below. It does cost money, but you can use it over and over. It's also expandable. And here I'm going to put a little footage of me trying to explain it. I apologize. There's lots of noise. My daughter has hiccups as I'm filming it, but here you go. Sorry about the lighting, but this is where we're set up, so we have to go with it. So my daughter has something in the microwave if you hear that beeping. So they each have these little sign-ups, and it's set for 20 books. This kit actually expands to 40 if you want to, but they have 20 books. And then they also have an envelope, and in their envelope, they have little slips. They fill it with the title, and it says category, but I'm gonna have them put author there. For each book they read, I also need to put a highlight in here because I'll highlight books that are graphic novels. And then they also have their library summer reading program so they can mark off their hours. And then as they finish a book, oh, and on Chris's, because Chris is a different reader, he also has a reading log. And this is just to help him keep track of what he's reading. Back in there. As they read a book, they just fill out one of those sheets, one of those little slips, and then they paste it starting here. And when they reach the top, they're done. So that system of that Tower of Books system is great because it is expandable. We're doing 20 books. It is expandable up to 40 books. There's also, if you want to really guide it, say you have to read this many of this type of book and do it that way, there's checklists for that. It's designed for classroom or for like actual homeschooling, but it also works really well for what I'm doing, which is just trying to get my kids to read through the summer. So because it's just my kids, I can make the carrot for this much more enticing to them than the public library will. So if my kids complete their tower, my son will get the new Legends of Zelda game. Again, irony, because the whole point of this is to get him off the video game at some point. I still think he should have time for video games because he enjoys it, but he needs to also read. So he can get Legends of Zelda. So my daughter, she's going to get a comparable amount in a gift card. So the guidelines for this are really simple. They just have to read 20 books. The one sort of limit I put on it is that no more than 10 of the books can be graphic novels or manga. And that's not at all to say that I think graphic novels and manga are not books or they're not reading. It's because I'm not made of money and I need to slow them down. They've already asked if they finish, can they just start over again? And I said, yes. I don't think my son will. I mean, if my son finishes it, it'll be like in August. That's not a big deal. But my daughter could finish it in like 2 weeks. I need to slow them down on that. And with my, again, that's mostly my daughter. I just need to slow them down. And so they can still read the graphic novels and manga. They just can't only read those. And for my son, I'm also allowing him to do audiobooks because we do ear reading, which is where I just turn on the audiobook he's listening to, which right now is the first Percy Jackson book. So he listens to it while he draws. I'm like, that's great. And he can count that towards his tower of books. My daughter doesn't do that. So my daughter also gets the benefit that if, well, both of them actually, if they wanted to, but it doesn't really apply because my son's going for like a physical thing and my daughter's going for a gift card. But if she does like 10 prose books and 10 graphic books, she gets like a $70 gift card because Legends of Zelda is about $70. But for every one of her graphic books that she reads a prose book instead, a chapter book instead, she gets an extra $1. So she could get up to $80 on her gift card. So we'll see how it goes. I think they're kind of sort of motivated. We'll see. You know, it's starting. I told them, you know, we officially start tomorrow, but that just means they can't put, if they finish a book tonight, they can put it on there tomorrow. Neither one of them are close to finishing a book, so it's okay. So yeah, and other things that we're doing is I personally have a habit of reading after lunch for like an hour and a half. My son, we sat down today when he came home from school and we said, what are the expectations for you during the summer? Because you are not going to play video games and watch television all weekend or all week. And one of his was doing I kind of forced it. He wanted it to be 10 minutes. I said 45, but 45 minutes of eye reading and then plus 20 minutes of ear reading a day. So, you know, I'll probably, if I can convince him to do it, and if he's not too distracting, I might like do my reading in the same room or in the same place as him so I can model it. I don't know if my daughter is going to take part in that or not. I'm not going to push it. So we are going to do that. And also we have decided, or I have decided actually, because I'm the mom and I get to make these decisions, that Wednesday is our library day. So we are going to the library every Wednesday. We went today actually, for the first time for our summer. My daughter picked out a book and my son of course is like, I don't know what to read. So I went through the shelves and I sort of like browsed and picked up 10 books I thought he might like. And then I had him go through each one and read the first couple pages. And then he chose 3 books from there he wanted to check out. So he has 3 books, plus the book he got for summer reading. Those are our summer reading plans. I'm hoping it works. If it works too well, might do it. And we want to do it next year. Might make it 30 books or 40 books. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. As I said, I understand the library has its limits, both within budget and you know, what their resources are. Plus they're dealing with a bunch of different needs. I'm only dealing with the needs of 2 children. So I don't know what they're doing up there. I can really like tailor this for them. But yeah, I think summer reading is really important. It's, you know, it helps prevent summer slide. It gets you into the habit of reading. It keeps your mind engaged over the summer. And hopefully it'll make my son more of a reader. So thank you for sticking with this with me. If you have any questions about it, please just let me know in the comments. And again, if that file is still available, I will link it down below. I don't remember how much I paid for it, but I don't think it was that expensive. Yeah, and if you're doing anything with your kids to kind of really beyond like library summer reading to really kind of motivate them to read, please let me know, because I love suggestions like that. So thank you very much, and give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.